all, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Off the Dome. I'm your humble interviewer, Jordan Brown, and with me for the very first time is our charity champion. Say hi, charity champion.
Hi, charity champion.
Yasmin, thank you so much for joining me. First of all, thank you so much for donating to Doctors Without Borders. What an incredibly generous thing to do. I am full of flabbergast at the number of people who were like, I'll give Jordan some money for this.
Oh no, I believe there would be a lot of donations. This does not surprise me at all.
I grossly underestimated. I was like, so when Run DMG, Ryan, who's running the charity, came to me and I came up with the idea of what I would do, I was like, boy, I hope I don't get zero. That would be embarrassing. And I think I'm clocking in at 12 hours of interviews I have to do right now. So
yeah, no, I'm and you still have the rest of the month for stuff to.
Yes, we're recording this on January 11th.
Yeah.
People might be getting paid tomorrow and decide hey, I'll throw some money at
I mean, I used my Christmas money for this.
I very much appreciate it. It's also wild because people have told me, you used your Christmas money, and it's a thing that I remember you telling me. I think you put it.
Yeah, I messaged it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many of them. I can't keep track of anyone at this point.
Okay.
So I'm just I don't know. Anyway. Yasmin, thank you. This is incredibly wonderful to get to talk to you. You're only my second one of these, so
wow,
you're very much at the I'm not burned
early
out yet.
adapter.
Yes, you were on it. You were in day 1 or 2, I think, of
Yeah, I because I assumed that you would get a lot of donations, and so I was like, oh, what if after a week he's like, I can't handle, I don't have this much time in my day, I have to shut it off. I was like, I gotta be in there.
Yeah,
so that
was Ryan basically said the same thing of hey, do you want me to stop these? And I was like, no, I don't think you understand. Very much like Brennan Lee Mulligan, I would do anything to win anything. And it is a contest of who can raise the most money, both on team and individual, and I am currently winning, and I want to stay that way. I think I mentioned somewhere that I was like, if it gets close at the end of the month, I'm going to slash the prices on these just so that I can drive in a bunch more. And people were like, well, now I hope it gets close so that I can afford one. And I was like, oh, right, that's not super great. Anyway, so. One of the things that I love about getting to talk to fans, because I've talked to, this is my second charity one, but I've talked to a couple of other folks who have, like me, no official ties to Dropout. I love learning how you made your way to Dropout, because I find every story is unique and interesting.
Well, I saw a bunch of clips. I watched a lot of College Humor. Every like most people, I think, on YouTube every now and then I'd go through phases where I'd watch a bunch of their skits, and then I think I saw a few episodes of Actually, and that was actually what got me to sign up, and at the time they only allowed you to sign up with a credit card, and I don't have a credit card because in Germany credit cards aren't really that big of a thing. People have credit cards, but if you don't need a credit card, you don't have one, and so I was subscribed to the YouTube membership. So I had everything on YouTube, and then I saw Dimension 20. I saw Misfits and Magic was my first season, and then that got me fully hooked. And then when I was able to buy the subscription in app with Google Pay this year, I did that, and so now I also have it as an app, and I love it because I can download it. That's great.
That's awesome. Yeah,
and I make my entire family watch Dropout any chance I get.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't remember who I was talking to, and they were like, "Is it just is your life just talking to people about Dropout?" And I was like, "It's actually not. Very few people outside of the internet actually consume Dropout. So most of my conversations are people that I've never met in person. It's people that I know from usernames mostly.
Yeah."
But yeah, it's super. It's also I mean, being a very stereotypical American, I often forget about the rest of the world, and I don't think about those things of how does someone sign up in Germany to subscribe to Dropout?
It also
Uh,
sucks because all the like the premieres of like episodes and stuff are always like in the middle of the night. So
yeah,
I only watched it watched the episode of Fantasy High that came out like a few hours ago because I
yeah.
watched it at work. No one cares.
Hey, I'm currently working, so your
Oh no, I
secret's
don't work
safe with me.
from home, but I have to go in. That's why I'm actually dressed up still because
Mm,
I have to go in out and about.
that's fair. Yeah, I like one of the real benefits of like starting this weird little journey that I've taken on the internet is getting episodes early
Yeah.
for Dimension 20 because I can't watch them live because like I have a 2-year old, he's going to bed in between. Like for me, it starts at 6 o'clock. And like that's like his like dinner, bath, and
Hmm.
bedtime for like that
Yeah.
hour. So like no chance in the world I'm watching it that night. And so for me, like the joy is I get to watch it a couple of days and then taunt everyone on the internet.
Yeah, no,
Which
I saw the TikTok you posted yesterday about like all the things to get excited about. So yeah,
yeah,
I was jealous.
yeah, it's it's a new very like I have very much entered my villain era. Yeah, um, yeah. I well then thoughts on the first episode of junior year?
Too short.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's always my thought on every episode that's under 2 hours. It's always too short.
yeah,
But really exciting. Yeah, I'm just bummed that it was like we didn't even get to finish combat. I think it's
yeah.
just I always wanted more, but it's really funny. Like they're always like really funny, and so I was very excited to just like start laughing right away. It's always I always get weird stares from people on the bus or on the train when I'm just like sitting there just like laughing my head off like at my phone. But yeah, all in all, very entertaining. I currently am very much just my head is in A Court of Fane Flowers because I'm rewatching that right now. So that was like what I was watching right before we started. So I'm already on to the next thing.
Oh man, oh, such a good season. Abria is such a fantastic storyteller. She's
Probably
just
my favorite DM.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's entirely fair. Like there's stuff that like of those like big three of like Matt, Brennan, and Abria. Like there's stuff I think Matt does better. There's stuff I think Brennan does
Yeah.
better. But I think like narrative is really where Abria
Yes. Yeah.
shines. Like I think Matt is probably a better world builder, and Brennan is probably like a better NPC crafter
For
in terms
sure.
of just like making someone interesting and wild. Usually,
In like one sentence, like or just
yes,
even like a look or like the voices. Like I try my best as a DM and
yeah.
I fail miserably.
I mean, look, we can't compete with
Yeah.
look Abria. No, like I've talked to her about like you can't compete with Brennan when like his this is his brain is just different. Like those he goes into those seasons without notes basically. Like he doesn't have a plan. He's just there
I mean, I
improvising what's
also
happening. And
well then that makes me feel better because I go into every single one of my sessions with like this many notes. Just like
yeah,
right, we have to talk about this at some point, and that's
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
also like I
I
don't have to do it for a camera. I just do it for a bunch of my drunk friends. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And like at some point there's a inconsistency in your plot. There's not probably 1,000
yeah.
people online who are like, why did this happen? Like,
Yeah. And also there's like a week in between, so if we forget something, who cares? But like
yeah,
when I watch these seasons back, I'll be like back to back and I'll be like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
yeah. Oh man. I guess I mean, so what are some of your favorite D20 seasons? Then I'm assuming Court of Fey and Flowers near the top, at the
It
top.
is probably at the top. I don't like it switches from like day to day, whatever I'm feeling right now. But A Court of Fey Flowers will always be like up there. Starstruck as well. I even bought the comic book afterwards because
Nice.
I was also working on a comic book class at the time. And so like the comics was just really cool. I would just like show people just the comic book. And I think because that season was also so like wacky and crazy and kooky, and I'm a sci-fi person myself. I love that. Burrow's End, because it's like the most recent one that's in my mind, has like just mostly honestly just for the set designs. Because again, as an artist, as a crafter, like I just loved those sets. And I love the dynamic of Izzy and Brennan, like being able to like the whole family dynamic was really funny, but especially seeing like Izzy and Brennan like that like weird dynamic of being like, wait, are you talking as my husband or as my mother right now? Like that type of stuff was very fun. And again, because of Bria's jamming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Misfits and Magic was like the OG that got me in, and so that's always going to be there. But it's so
Yeah.
short; you can't really flesh it out as much as some of the other seasons.
Yeah,
But
that is my big complaint of Miss Mag, is that it's the 4 episodes in the holiday special. It's like I want 20 episodes in that world. Like, it's so delightful.
I mean, there is also the live show, but
yes,
that's with
true.
other.
Yes.
Yeah, I only recently discovered that even existed. I was like, wait a minute, there's something else here.
Yeah, there. Everything is content.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, you listed a lot of my favorites in there. Like Starstruck. Starstruck was my number one, like, forever. I don't know if Burrow's End has replaced it, but it's in contention. Yeah,
it's for sure my favorite of like the main seasons, like the main crew.
Yeah,
the intrepid heroes. There was the word.
Yes, Starstruck was special. Yeah, I was, oh man, who was I emailing? I was emailing with Casey McGeorge, who's the art director for D20. This is so braggy, and I don't mean it to be.
Oh no, I'm very jealous.
And they were like, basically, like, we were working on a project together that, like, they're designing and 3D printing a map for me, which, yeah, incredible. And I, like, eventually you'll get to see it. And Casey and I are going to sit down and do like a whole like recorded thing where we talk about what the process was, because I sent Casey a bunch of lore and they like internalized that and made like a full deck of like, here's my thoughts based on like what you said and like this design that I came up with. It's stunning.
I'm excited to hear it because that's what I really am. Like the mini documentary of Rick Perry, I wish we had that for every season.
Yeah.
Like I want to have behind the scenes of like how they make everything.
Yeah, I mean, that is basically the very weird corner of the internet that I have found myself in.
Well, thank you for existing.
I have no idea what the Casey story was going to be now, but that's fine.
Sorry.
No. I started talking about something that was unrelated to what it was about. Oh man, now I'm gonna be annoyed until I figure it out. But I'm not going to. That's fine. Anyway, Casey's delightful. Truly delightful. And yeah, that's a thing that is going to be available for commissions for folks out there. Like the art director of Dimension 20 will make you your own sets, which is very cool and weird. Yeah, a lot of the cool things that I love in Burrow's End, or that the production stuff. I mean, the acting is like, I think also kind of next level.
It always
in that
is.
season. Yeah. But really, like, yeah, I mean, Polly the Bear. What you can't say enough about him. Like it was truly something special.
Yeah.
Abria really came to play.
I showed every single person that I know that was like that could even tangentially be interested in it. I was like, you don't have to watch the whole thing. I know I tell you to watch it all the time. You don't have to. It's okay. I'm just gonna fast forward just this one bit. Just look at this.
Yeah,
and my art friends were impressed, so
I mean, it's wild. I mean, the map, the unfolding, the projections, like everything, just like it's. Yeah. I have not recovered from Burrow's End. Like I still have. I really dug myself deep into a hole with how many people I interviewed, which is not like a complaint, because like obviously what an incredible blessing. But I have so many clips left to publish, and like it feels very weird to publish like a Jasper clip today talking about like Burrow's End when everyone is talking about junior year. Yeah. But I'm not done talking about Burrow's End. I'll never be.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah. I loved. I know what it was. This is so not worth going back.
That's okay.
Now.
You gotta say it now.
The thing when Casey and I first started talking, they were like, I could build like a set. I could like 3D print someone from like the Starstruck comics. Like they like that was like we'd bounced around a couple of ideas. And so when you said like you got the Starstruck comics, I thought about like, oh yeah, that was a thing that like Casey was talking about. Like I could basically make you like a statue of someone from the comics, and I was like, that's so cool.
I should
Like,
do that.
yeah, you should.
I don't have time for it. I'm really, really swamped working on my like uni projects right now, but there's so many things I want to do when I have time, like art wise. And every time
Mhm.
I watch these shows, like also like very important people, like the whole like prosthetics and the makeups and everything, or like basically every show where they have like a little bit more production, I'm always very much of like, oh, I should get back into designing. I should get, but then I'm like, I don't have time. I should spend my time working on things that I'm gonna get graded on.
Yeah, that is unfortunately probably true.
Yeah.
Like get through that and then do your fun things. But I mean, look, as Rick Perry said in his documentary, you find people that care about the things you care about and like do that thing. And
Yeah.
then I cried and DM'd him if his advice was applicable to a 40-year-old, and he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Great." So yeah, man, every the very important people is like really captured my heart very very quickly, faster than I thought it. I knew I was going to like it, but like the
I think,
makeup
yeah,
is
yeah.
so fantastic.
I think episode 2 is where I was like, episode 1, like, it was fun and I enjoyed it, but episode 2, I think both the makeup was, like, so outlandish, and then the improv between them was so on point. I
Mhm.
was like, yes, this is gonna be a great show.
Yeah. From what I have heard from Vic, tomorrow night's episode with it's Lisa Gilroy, Vic's ex-step grandmother, um, is apparently like really incredible. And I guess there starts to be some threads of Vic's character that like start to weave through the season.
Yeah, I could already tell that, like, they're
Yeah,
really and not just having, like, the blank interview where they're already, like, giving them quirks and things.
yeah, yeah. It's a super fun show, and yeah, like that Iffy's makeup. It's wild to me. They were shooting 3 of those a day, and like
I'm so glad we have the behind the scenes.
yeah. Another like my so short. Like I need
Mhm.
hours of behind the scenes.
Yeah, they're
Those
only,
like
like,
the
3
makeup.
minutes long.
Yeah, yeah. But yes, very grateful that we get at least a little peek. I know you mentioned, actually, you talked about very important people. Are you also like a game changer, make some noise person? Like, is
Oh,
that?
for sure. Those are my sister, she thinks I'm like a huge nerd for like watching Dimension 20 all the time and only wanting to talk about Dimension 20 all the time. But she will watch Make Some Noise and Game Changer. I even got my parents, like, I forced them the other day to watch the musical improv of the most recent
Mhm.
season of Make Some Noise. And she was like, honestly, of anything you've ever shown me from Dropout, I think this is the best episode I've ever seen. And so yeah, like those are the ones that I find more like general audience friendly, and so that's what I usually
Yeah.
watch when other people are around and I want to force them to watch something that I want to see
I
too.
mean, it's so helpful with like make some noise and game changer because I mean, make some noise. The premise is pretty apparent right
Yeah,
away, and like game changer, the premise changes every episode.
so you don't
Most
really have to.
episodes, like
Yeah,
I should say. So yeah, you don't have to like. It's not like, hey, you're jumping into like episode 7 of Burrow's End. Here's a lot that I
yeah,
gotta catch you up on.
yeah.
Like,
No, my sister
yeah.
wants to watch always wants to rewatch the escape room episode from the most recent
Mhm.
season of Game Changer. I think just because she loves watching them smash things and like fully panic. It's very entertaining.
I think it is my favorite episode of Game Changer. Not the one, and certainly not where I would start, folks, because I think
Oh,
you gotta
no.
have some like some deep like Brennan, Lou, Sam lore, and
Yeah.
ideally like you've seen Siobhan elsewhere. But yeah, yeah. So that's your sister's favorite. Do you have a favorite game that has changed?
I don't think I have a favorite because they're all so different. I do also really like the escape room episode. I don't know. I think I would have to look at the list again and look at which ones like I was like, oh yeah, those. But because I watch with different people, I'll watch different
Hmm.
episodes. I do really like the Shakespeare improv
Oh,
one, just
yeah,
because that was so different. I thought that was so funny and so clever. And then, like I said, the musical improv, I always find those really fun. But yeah, I don't think there's a favorite. I'm
yeah,
just Sam Says this season. Sam Says, I think that's
yeah.
probably also there, just because of Allie's whole shenanigans of flying to New York.
Yes, yeah. So good. Oh man, that was so good.
I just keep wondering when are they going to run out of ideas? I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't think of anything else.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they keep it so fresh. I will say, I talked to Andrew Rosas from Rooster Teeth, and because he had written on this past season of Make Some Noise,
Hmm.
um, and he wrote for this upcoming Game Changer season. And so I couldn't really talk to him about any of that because obviously we haven't seen any of it yet. But at least like I think they're expanding out like writers that they're hiring so that people are bringing in new
New
ideas for
ideas,
their
yeah.
shows. Yeah, that I don't know if you saw Ross Bryant posted the other day. I guess this is a thing they've done a couple because they do that improvised Shakespeare
Yeah, I know.
pretty
Yeah.
regularly. They did it with Patrick Stewart, which
Oh
is
my God, I did not see that.
wild.
No, holy.
Yeah, like apparently Patrick Stewart has done it a couple of times with them, where like he'll do yeah. It's oh no, I've lost your audio. I can't. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Wait, how about
Oh,
now?
I'm. You're
Yeah,
back.
I have a button here and I accidentally knocked it when I got excited.
That's all good. Yeah, look, Patrick Stewart doing improvised Shakespeare is worth muting yourself for.
Yeah,
Like,
I was probably swearing a lot, so that's
it's fine. Um, uh, I said fuck to Abria so many times because I think I wanted to be cooler than I am, and I like reverted to like a teenager who thinks swearing is cool. Yeah, it's all good.
Is that what I'm
Um,
doing?
no,
I'm still
yeah, I
young.
yeah, I'm very bitter about it. So, yeah, but yes, yeah, improvised Shakespeare with Sir Patrick Stewart, mind blowing. Yeah, a game most changed is also really high up on my list of like favorite things, just because like I didn't know that was a thing people could do, and I still don't really understand how they did it. You know, like like I don't
I
really
think
get
the
musical
theater kid in
improv.
me
Yeah,
gets it. I mean, both I did in school. I was in theater and in the choir, so both the musical improv and the Shakespeare improv,
hmm,
I kind of like relate them to like different exercises we've done. So like I understand like how you could practice that and get your brain into that, but I couldn't do it off the top of my head either.
yeah,
Still like you're like, "Oh, dang." Especially when they like weave in the prompts. That was always very
yes,
satisfying.
yeah,
I think that's what
yeah.
if these types of things feel very satisfying because you're like you see it coming and then it happens in this like perfect way and you're like, "Damn, you did it."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we're seeing like truly like some of the best improvisers alive, like top of their game, just like crushing everything out of the park on Dropout. It's what a time
Yeah.
for us to be alive. Um, yeah, I all right. So your let's say Sam gives you the call to produce a season of Dimension 20. What's your genre? Who's at your table? I'm assuming Abria is sitting in the DM chair based on the seasons that you have picked as your favorites. But
Yeah.
who are you putting in there for her?
Oh, I would I this is hard. Brennan, I love seeing him playing because he's like so good at like acting and improv. I really would probably have Brennan in there. Emily just because expert supremacy. I love Emily. Lou, I also do like the Brennan Lou Abria dynamic. And like if I put Erica in then we're basically just doing Worlds Beyond Number at
It's
that
Worlds
point. So
Beyond Numbers with two extra people. Yeah,
I don't know. Gosh. I've
I mean,
never thought of this before, but that's probably like that's where I would start, you
yeah,
know,
that's a good, I
because
mean, incredibly solid start.
yeah. And
Do you,
themes.
yeah,
I mean, I like I said, I do like a lot of sci-fi stuff. Um, I would want to work with the art team mostly. That's what I'd be really excited about. The issue right now is that my brain is only thinking about my art project right now, which is alien plant themed. So
Very
I would want
cool.
it to like be very like alien world, but not like sci-fi like Star Wars, Starstruck Odyssey, more like on like an alien planet with like I don't know. But yeah, and I do want it to like it would be kooky and wacky and weird. It would probably be like the vibe of like little guys in a magical forest, but with aliens
Hey,
instead of like magical
that's
creatures.
that's a
Yeah.
solid vibe. Yeah, I can tell you, I got to talk to the production team after Burrow's End, and we talked about like what they would want to like what they haven't been able to build or what they haven't gotten to build yet. And sci-fi was at the top of like several people's lists of like since Starstruck was all Tailspire, like they didn't get to build anything, like they want to do
Yeah.
it. So like
I want to
I think
see
yeah,
yeah.
I think they would be down for your alien plant
Well, there we
world.
go.
Yeah. Um,
But then I
uh,
would be like, no, I have to build it all because I've been building so many alien plants for the past few months. It's
uh,
insane.
yeah, I guess at this point, tell me about your art project because that sounds fascinating.
Oh, yeah. So I'm in a very weird program at our university called Art and Multimedia, where we do art and media computer science. And our final project is basically do whatever you want. And so I'm doing a three-piece installation of an alien natural history museum where like each terrarium is going to like show a different planet and it's like plant life. Like not really plants because plants are a thing that are on Earth, but like the equivalent of plants on whatever that planet is. Like you can like my desk is fully in the background here. Like
Yeah,
it's a mess. There's a lot of plants there. Yeah, and I'm gonna have some interactive elements where like some glow if you get closer, some glow in the dark, some things move. And I have less than a month left to finish it all, and I am stressed.
I mean that's fair.
Yeah, but
It's
I'll show you my favorite little guy. Wait.
yeah, yeah.
Eh, here. I mean, he's a big guy, but yeah, this is
Oh, I love that. That's so stunning.
yeah. And so, and he glows in the dark.
Even better. Yeah, that's
Yes,
amazing. I mean, I assume then, like, dream job at Dropout would be in like Rick Perry's workshop
for sure,
making
for
wild
sure.
things.
Yeah. I mean, I would be happy also to be on like in front of the camera as well. But I don't think my acting is nearly as good as anyone else's. So, like, I love D&D. I love DMing. Like, the only reason why I GM is because I have no other people who are into the style of D&D that I'm into. Like, the first people I ever played D&D with, they like D&D very much in the like like optimization and like battles and just like encounter after encounter, and I was very much like, oh, here's this big elaborate backstory of my crazy kooky character, and they want to flirt and they want to dance, and they're like, yeah, but we're fighting a spider right now, you can't really do that here. I was like, okay. And so then I
Sure.
just convinced all of my friends that had never played any RPGs before, like, it's gonna be fine, I barely know it as well, like I've only ever played one session and I can do it, you can do it too.
I mean, that is the way I think a lot of people start. It's the way I
Yeah.
started. So, yeah, but also, yeah, there's time for flirting and dancing and spiders. It can contain multitudes.
Yeah.
That's super delightful. Um, yeah, um, I'm, I of course also should like preface the like, what's your dream job at like Dropout with, I have no say on that whatsoever.
Oh no. Oh,
So yeah,
I know. I know. This
yeah,
is all like I live in Germany. What the heck?
yeah, yeah,
I'm 22 and I live in Germany. I'm not gonna like fly over and just work there. But if
yeah.
I could, I would like to make more of my boys.
Yes. I mean, hey, keep the dream alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Yasmin, this was such a delight. We're coming up on time. If the
Yeah,
folks want to follow you to see more of your very cool little boys, that sounded weird.
that's okay. I
But
call them my little boys too.
okay, great. Where can they find you on the internets?
I'm at Yass-maniac with two Z's, basically everywhere. That username is never taken. So on Instagram is where I post most of my art. Tried to post art on TikTok, but you have to film the process to do that, and I always forget.
Hmm.
So yeah, TikTok if you want to hear like my little ramblings about my own D&D and RPG stuff. Not that much there really, but Instagram is if you want to see the art, and TikTok if you want to hear me talk about our drunken adventures when I think to mention something.
I mean, both things sound delightful. Well, Yasmin, thank you again so much for donating. This has been such a delight. I really have to figure out how to end interviews, a skill I have not like in any way figured out yet. So at this point, I'm just going to hit stop recording because
That sounds
thank you.
good.
Yeah.
All right, you're welcome.